Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. Representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm going to be updating Orcust for you guys. People have been asking for this by popular demand. I would like to showcase you guys my new build that I'm tweaking with. Wow, that sounded so weird to just say that I'm tweaking with. I'm not a tweaker. I'm not a tweaker. Anyways, so yeah, every time you guys see this deck shown on my channel, it's always going to be different. I just have a very obscure mindset approaching this deck because I just try so many weird things and just force them to work. I'm very, very hard-headed. If someone thinks it's a bad idea, then I really want to make it good. So I've been tweaking some very weird cards in this deck and just a lot of different builds. And I've been enjoying this build a lot because it's probably the most competitive. One of the two most competitive builds that I have so far, this one and then the other build that I topped multiple events with. The most recent one was when I got second place at the ARG, one of the ARGs that I went to with my my Orcust list, and then after that one it was with Zephyrs that I topped the other ARG. But this build, I like it. I decided to take the hand traps out, and I wanted to learn how to effectively navigate through pendulum boards and through danger boards and Orcust boards and Salme Grip boards without it being a simplified game state. It's not that I don't want to yield an impediment or detriment to my opponent's plays. It's that I want to grow as a player, and so that I feel that by making it more challenging, it would help to increase my skill level, and it would also enhance my technical play to just kind of help me learn the more effective and adequate route to take whenever you're exploiting different avenues, utilizing the resources you have, piloting this deck against certain boards. So I really enjoy this build right now because it's been able to break pendulum boards. It's been able to break striker boards with triple anchors. Well, double anchor impermanence, but still you get the point. It's been able to play through legitimately 3+ interruptions, so I enjoy it a lot. And the real reason why, I think, is because of how many of the big danger monsters that I play. Not just the good ones, but the big ones. The ones with high attack. Like, man, like literally just attacking over Endymions and Dawn Dragsters and Jackal Kings and not even have to play into their negation effects. Just stuff like that. But we're going to hop into the list. You guys may or may not agree with my card choices, but just always keep in mind, I'm me, you're you. We have different mindsets, but just because we can't agree on something doesn't mean that I hate you or you hate me, and doesn't mean there has to be negativity in the atmosphere. So we have 3 copies of Orcust Nightmare. I love this card. I found every hand that has either this or Harp Horror is allowed to make Galatea. And with this deck, the way I play it, all I need to do is just make a Galatea. I don't have to go quote full combo. I just need to make a Galatea. I feel that my hand is not good, or my turn wasn't good, if I couldn't make just her. The bare minimum is just make a Galatea. That's all I care about. So if I have to take some really, really awkward routes or make some funny plays and just force things to work, as long as my hand meshes and molds, I just need to make a Galatea, and that's all I'm about doing with this deck right now. Is just I play under the assumption that they do have the Ash for the Mermaid, that they do have the DD Crow for the Harp or the Veiler for the Mermaid and the Ash for the Harp. You know, I just assume those things. So I kind of play my deck tailored to the mindset that I've become accustomed with, that I put myself in the worst case scenario before it happens. So when I play someone, I already think he does have Ash and he does have Veiler. And that just helps me to navigate my plays correctly, just playing under the assumption that they have the answer. So I like opening one of these because it helps me out a lot more. And I still play 1 Skeletor and 1 World Wand. I love Skeletor. I just love being able to bring back Orcustrion and just negate the entire field and just kill my opponent. Yeah, Orcustrion, the Orcust that nobody seems to love. Why does no one like Orcustrion? I don't understand what is so bad about this card. Like, I get it, they play along Gersu, props to them, but like, I feel like, why even consider yourself an Orcust player if you're not playing probably the best Orcust link besides Galatea? Orcustrion's nuts. But anyways, we're going to get into the dangers now. Oh, Lord, here we go. Let the hate comments flow in because people are just danger crybabies these days. We have 3 Danger Nessie, 3 copies of Tsukinoko, 3 Jackalope. So outside of the good ones, I do play a lot of other dangers that are not these. These are just the obvious ones. Oh my goodness. I enjoy so much seeing a guy do really good with the rogue deck and just doing better than what most people expected, and then everybody just like degrades him and put him down because like he had a $500 card or something weird like that. Like, I just really enjoy the interactions that this community has. Like, I don't get it. 3 Chupacabras, Yes, I play Chupacabra, and no, he's not a bad card, contrary to what people believe. I think that there is no such thing as a bad danger. I think that every danger is really good, and I enjoy Chupacabra more in this deck because he not only allows me to make rank 4s, he not only has the insane effect to Reborn, he's not only draw power, but he helps me to make Zombie Stein. I play Zombie Stein, and that's part of my combo. I'm trying to assemble a Zombie Stein, so in order to do that, I played some different choices in my as far as card ratios go. I play 2 Mothman. I like Mothman. He's really insane in this deck because you have so many cards you want in the grave that hit or miss, he's still going to get you something. And then we play 3 Bigfoot. Bigfoot's my favorite danger, and I've always played him at 3. Never not. I see some danger players like that play Danger Thunder and Orcust that only play Nessie, Tsuchinoko, and Jack. And like I see like maybe 1 Bigfoot. I don't understand. Bigfoot is insane, especially going second. Like whenever you just need to attack over a Jackal King, attack over an Endymion so that they cannot use it to negate your card. You just summon a bunch of big dangers, bait the spear out because you're declaring an attack on it. It's going to bounce something, hopefully not one of your dangers because that'd be dumb. And then you're just going to attack the Morphage and attack everything that's not basically Vortex. And just summoning Bigfoots is so good for that. Like, there's nothing that he can't outmatch in that board except for Vortex. He'll not be able to attack over it. And then popping multi-rolls. You know, dealing with there can only be ones and anti-spell fragrances. Having a main deck out to Floodgates, to Monarch's Erupt. Stuff like that really matters to me, so I like Bigfoot. And he also contributes to making Zombie Stein as well as the 3 Thunderbirds, because I do think that we're in an equilibrium format where you have a balance of control decks and combo decks. So you have to respect the control decks because they are going to have face-down cards. And this pops any sets, even monsters, so the card is really good. And it's 28 base. How have I been navigating through Pendulum boards? I summon a bunch of gigantic monsters and just declare an attack on the most threatening cards. The only thing that's left normally is Vortex. Like, I've literally attacked over Jackal Kings, multiple Jackal Kings, and Endymion, and Dragster, and literally all that was left was just freaking Vortex because Spear got baited out, and it didn't bounce my danger, thank God, and the Morphage got killed, and it was just like, dude. Like, just the big dangers, like, they really help so much. That's how I play through so many negates, because nothing gets negated. I just attack over them. I really enjoyed so much that I played 2 Dogmans. Now, people are going to hate. They're going to say bad things about my deck, say, oh, Dogman's a bad card. Dude, my results prove themselves, and I speak from experience. I enjoy the big dangers a lot, and I feel that people who don't play hand traps need to play cards like this in their main deck because you need some way to navigate through a board without utilizing your side deck. And sure, this is a high ceiling deck. It is an Orcust deck. Just like a Thunder Dragon deck is a high ceiling deck. So it can tank to a certain degree, but it has a maximum capacity. And playing cards like this elevate you and kind of raise your ceiling naturally. So I enjoy every one of these dangers, especially the gigantic ones. Next up, another card that's formidable but doesn't get the recognition she deserves is 3 Iblis. Ibli and Connector are valuable normal summons in this deck because they enable you to either A, bait a hand trap, or B, play around or play through a hand trap. Now, Ibli normally plays around the hand trap, not through it. But Connector will play through the hand trap. Why? Because they'll have to hand trap him. Nobody wants you to get information on their hand, so this card will make you spill your guts 10 times out of 10. And if they don't hit that Connector, you already know that your next bet is to go after the combo pieces. Like, I've 2-card hand loop people. I've done the equivalent of a Danger Thunder player, ripping 2 cards out of your opponent's hand and then assembling the gates. Well, I've done that where I've ripped 2 cards out of my opponent's hand by resolving Connector's effect to bring back Dolphin, and then assembling a board with Crescendo, Orcustrion, and Zombie Stein with Bardiche there just chilling, you know, with only one of his zones occupied, so I could still bring back Dengaritsu. So that means I have 3 negations, and I've ripped 2 cards out of your hand, and I still have another interruption via the graveyard. So this deck can really do some crazy stuff, and I enjoy that these allow my plays to go through. And one thing you want to remember about Ibli, whenever somebody tells you it's a bad card, you tell them, hey, I don't know any other card. This is what I want you to tell them. I don't know any other card that can allow me to go full combo and stop you from using Pankratops, Phantasme, Gamma, and Permanence, evenly matched, playing Engages, playing Widow Anchors. I can't think of anything better, and it's really awkward for pendulums when they have an Ibly. So yeah, it's worth it. And the thing is, like, they either stop it or they don't. But once Ibly hits the field, every card that I previously aforementioned cannot be used while they control her because she has a restriction that is very potent. So she's not a bad card. Don't listen to people, man. Armageddon Knight and Greffer are nuts in this deck. We know it. Whenever I love the hands where I have literally Nightmare, Greffer, and a Harpor and just like a couple dangers, it's so good. Like, you normally, it doesn't matter how many hand traps they have, you're normally just going to make a Galtea, bare minimum. And then Dolphin. So with the 3 Iblys, the 3 connectors, and the Dolphin, you already have 7 cards that allow you to play around or through hand traps, excluding the fact that dangers just naturally allow you to set up a Rusty Bardiche and get 2 Fog Blades, even through a hand trap or 2. I do play the Phantom Knights, of course. You can't play them without Bardiche. And that's kind of what Orcust has evolved to this point, where you don't want to play Orcust without the Phantom Knights because they make Bardiche so comfortably and they utilize him so effectively. So for spells, we're starting off with 3 Engage. With Engage is another way to play around hand traps because I play Eagle Booster. So whenever you do the combo to make a Mermaid, you basically activate Mermaid's effect, discard for cost, and if they Ash and Permanence, Valor it, you just activate Eagle Booster and protect it. And at that point, now you know that your play can go through. So it's another card that plays around hand trap. So I enjoy this Ibly and Connector more than Call By because Call By is not a combo piece. So I like that these are flexible because they are combo pieces that also serve the same purpose that a Call By would serve. You just play through or around the hand trap. As long as it's not an impediment or a detrimental factor on my game state, I don't care that the hand trap got used. So I enjoy these more than Call By, and that's why you don't see Call Bys in my deck. So 3 Engage. The Engage will get the drones, and then the drones will get engaged, and then you'll get your Eagle Booster. I have drawn 2 off of Engage before. It was really nice. Like, I've opened Engage Connector where I've literally just ripped 2 cards out of my opponent's hand and still was allowed to play through a 3rd hand trap if they had it, which they didn't because I had Eagle Booster, and I had drawn twice off Engage. It's just so nuts. Like, this deck is just ridiculous. 3 Allure of Darkness. I love filtering. You know, draw 2 is really nice, especially when you start side decking. We have 1 Rhoda, 1 Foolish, the most bonkers spell in the deck. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The Orcust cards that people don't play but still call their deck an Orcust deck. Like, if I don't see these, I just don't feel that you're playing Orcust. I just feel like you're playing an engine. Like, you know, like Dangers for me, they're like an engine in this deck, but they enable, and they're the sheer embodiment of this deck because 2 Dangers get you to your Phantom Knights and your Orcust. But I love this card. I nicknamed this card Orcust Insane, Orchestrated Insane. That's literally what it is. You can just sit on this card with Babel, and your deck will play itself. You'll be Foolish Barreling Orcust monsters or banishing them or sending your World Wand, and your opponent is going to be giving you plays for you to make without you having to work for it. So if they play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you get to plus on it. It's nuts, and it's a continuous. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play it. Like, I've won more games because this card was in my deck versus when I didn't have it, and every time I tried to play without it, I hated myself because I was like, dude, this card comes up a lot. So I just feel like you need to try this. If you think you're playing Orcust, then play Orcust, like an actual Orcust deck. And the same with Return. Like, I don't know why people cut it, but it is what it is. I think for the most part, when a lot of players that like normally learn a lot of their stuff from YouTube see that almost every Orcust deck profile doesn't play this, they just start saying it's bad. And it's not that it's really bad, it's just that they're just mimicking what they hear other people saying. But Return is really strong, you guys. Whenever you just need to see your side deck cards too, the fact that you have Allure and Dangers, and this being accessible through so many different myriads of multiple 1 and 2 card combos is just really, really strong. And it's great Ash bait. Like, a bad player or a mediocre player will Ash this because it says draw 2 and there's a cost involved, but that's incorrect. These are my traps. I play 5 of them. You normally get access to these in 1 turn. Typically, you will, like, if you just, for example, opened one of these, or if you just opened, for example, like A Boots, you normally will get 3 to 4 of these traps. I like the 2nd Crescendo. It comes up a lot more than you would think. I don't want to just play 1. I keep in mind the grind game may come up, and I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a game of chess. I just plan ahead a lot, and I know that if I ever need it, the 2nd Crescendo, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's it for the main deck. The extra deck, it is, and I'll do Test Hand and the best 2-card combo in the deck. I'll show you guys that. So I played 2 Galatea. You only need 2, and most of my combos, in fact, every Orcust combo that is the full combo, I only make 2. I only make 2. So I don't get the reason for playing 3, because you also can recycle this from the graveyard or from the banish zone. I've never, ever, ever in my life needed a 3rd Galatea. That's why I just don't play 3. I play Longirsu, and I play the Orcust Link that every Orcust player doesn't play. I just don't know why people don't play this card. Like, I've won games because of this card. Like, it's so insane, I just can't cut it. And something weird also that I noticed that pure Orcust players don't run is the Topologics. I don't understand why you wouldn't play Bomber or why you wouldn't play Trishmania. This card is so stupid against so many of these cheesy decks like Dracos. Like, it's so stupid. You just set this up turn 1, and they are so scared to play their little cheesy back row and their floodgates, because the second they set them, you can just banish them all during the end phase. This card can be triggered through so many times. It's not once per turn. I mean, it sucks that you'll banish your Babel, but it's worth it, dude. And the Bomber, the fact that almost every combo deck will automatically lose to just being board wiped twice, but you can Raigeki them literally 3 times with this deck now, because the Dingirsu will get you back one of your extenders, so you'll have it in your grave as a follow-up or contingency. So the Orcust and the Topologics, like, these are non-negotiables for me. No matter what way I play Orcust, these will never change. The same with Rusty Bardies. I never cut these. I don't know why Orcust players don't run at least the Bomber. Just play the Bomber. It's so good. I don't understand, dude. It's broken. And then Bardies just obviously just needed for this deck. He just helps out so much. If Bardies left and the rank up stayed, I think it would have been worse. I prefer actually keeping the Bardies over the rank up, because it made the deck a little bit healthier, and also it just kept the ceiling that it had. And then I do still play Borosword. Then I play Phoenix and Cerberus and Mermaid. So I normally played Phoenix. The reason why I play Cerberus now is because those hands where you have Engage Connector, you basically summon Connector. You do Engage first, you make Kagari, add your Engage back, search out your Eagle Booster, and then you'll normal your Connector, bring out your your Dolphin, rip a card out of their hand, then you'll link the Dolphin and the Kagari into your first Nightmare. Then you'll Tribute Connector, bring back the Dolphin. Then you'll rip another card out of their hand. And the thing is, you still have monsters in your main zone, and you want to resolve that Eagle Booster. Just for some reason, if they just literally had like some other card that would threaten you, you'd convert the Dolphin and the Service into another Nightmare. And then you'd make Mermaid with the Eagle Booster in your hand, ripping 2 cards out of the hand, which means that you can play through 3 hand traps, which is nuts. So I really like it. And this deck is very, very fluent. We have 1 Dirgirsu, 1 Zombie Sign. These are the cards that no one ever expects for me to make. They just never see them coming, because traditional standard Orcus don't play the cards that I play, and they don't expect to see the cards come out of my extra deck. But you guys should know 3 stacks is not a standard net decker anyways. So now I'm going to show you guys the best 2-card combo in the deck. It's Connector and Engage, because it's literally that broken. Like, you're guaranteed combo. Like, no matter what, you're guaranteed combo, because there's no amount of hand traps that can stop this. Like, the best hand traps that are being played are Ash. I'd say Ash, possibly Veiler, Ogre, and Impermanence. Phantasme, right? If they have Ash, Ogre, and Veiler, they still won't be able to stop you. So you'll just activate your Engage. You'll search out your Hornet Drones. You'll activate your Hornet Drones. You'll summon the Sky Striker token, and then you'll convert it into a Kagari, activate Kagari, and you'll add back the Engage, because you already have a way to make a Nightmare. But when you want it self-contained, Engage is a 1-card combo, because you'll add this back, make a token, and then that's your Nightmare. So then you're going to activate the Engage again, and you're going to get yourself a, thing. Where my boy at? Where's my boy at? Where my Eagle Booster at, fam? There he is. Or she. Add your Eagle Booster, then your normal Connector, and, you know, that's where and the Ash kind of just really is a strong card in itself. I mean, not the Ash, the Engage. I don't know who Ash is Engage. I haven't had my Engage Ashed in a while. I think people kind of have picked up, like, they're like, it's 60 cards. What the heck? This isn't Sky Striker. This is Orcus. I'm saving my Ash for, you know, the Mermaid, the Harp. And I like that this is such a safe play that my Engage doesn't get Ash, because I feel that being able to search my Eagle Booster kind of makes it to where you've held your Ash just for it to be useless. So I just love it. Like, you can Ash the Engage, or you can just wait for the Mermaid, and then the Eagle Booster will protect it. No matter what, I'm making Galatea. That's the way I see it. So I enjoy it. Then you'll Dolphin them 1 time. You know, Then you'll convert the Dolphin into a Nightmare. And I just want to rip 2 out of their hand and still have the Eagle Booster. So for example, if they just had, I don't know, a hand trap that they just did not use for some reason, I would rather rip every card that out of their hand that isn't the hand trap, knowing that the Eagle Booster would stop that anyways. So I'd go after their combo pieces. Then you'll tribute the connector, you'll bring this back, rip another card out of their hand. So basically, you have sacrificed 2 of your cards for 2 of their cards, so you have 1 other random in your hand, and that 1 random can be used for discard outlet, but if you know that you don't need the Eagle Booster, you'll just discard the Eagle Booster, and you'll make the Mermaid, knowing that there's nothing they can do to stop you at this point. So you'll bust out your Nightmare, and whenever you can make Galatea before you resolve any Orcust effect, you have full combo. That is what the full combo is. So you don't need Mermaid for full combo. You need to make a Galatea without using any effects of any Orcust monsters. Then that's the full combo. So you're going to banish your Mermaid. You're going to send Heartpour. Then you'll banish Heartpour. And you'll special out the Skeletor from your deck. Wherever home skill it is. He's somewhere. He's in here. I'll do a test hand after this. So this is how I do the Orcust combo. You get the same end result. I just take a couple other routes differently because I like to think of the follow-ups. I enjoy the follow-ups more with this deck. I think that's what's strong about it, is that you always are guaranteed a secondary play. So I summon Dingirsu, and then I use it to attach the Nightmare, not the Heartpour. I prefer the Nightmare, and you'll see why. Then I convert these 2 into the only other Galatea that you ever need for the entire duration of this combo. This Galatea right here. And then what you end up doing is you activate your Skeletor, and then you make the Galatea again. And so now, from here, you have multiple options. So the first thing you want to do is use Galatea, put your Skeletor back, and then you want to set 1 of 2 cards. So what I'll normally do is I'll set my field spell, because I want to make Rusty and get more advantage. But also what you could do is make Orcustrion, and you could set your counter trap and then make Orcustrion. But I want to set the field spell up because I get more interactions out of it that way. And then if you have a danger in your hand, this is where you would just make Rusty and leave the Galatea there. So then you could just set your counter trap and then use the extender via the danger to convert this Galatea into a Rusty over here, and then have double Fog Blade and a Crescendo. But since we're doing it this way, this is how it's going to work. So you're going to convert both of these into Rusty, and then you guys know how this works. We're going to get Fog Blades. So we're going to dump a Boots. We're going to set a Fog Blade, then we're going to banish the Boots. As soon as I get it, we're going to get another Fog Blade. And then you have double Fog Blade, and also what you get here is, because you put the Nightmare into your grave, got that back instead, you get to do this on your opponent's turn, where you use Nightmare to send the skeleton that you just put back into your deck, and you just dump it. And whenever you feel the need, you just consider and weigh your options on what's more important. Is, do you need to summon Dingirsu and you need to interrupt them twice, or do you feel that the Fog Blades are enough? You kind of want to use the Fog Blades first and see if that's enough, and if it is, then you'll just start getting your follow-up plays going. So you'll bring her back, and then you'll get your counter trap. You'll put the Skeletor back, and then you'll set your counter trap, so that you can protect your next play that you're going to make. And this is why Galatea is so nuts in this deck, because after turn 1, she gets you so much advantage with the field spell, because you get 2 setups on your opponent's turn and then on your turn, so you get that much more value. And then, these go, let's just say they just went, right? And then you just draw for turn, doesn't matter what you draw. Then you use Galatea again on the draw phase. You'll put the Heartpour back, and then you'll set, what I normally set is, I set the, where's my boy at? There he is. Because whenever you decide to go for a Dingirsu on your opponent's turn, you don't normally attach a material. And when you go for Galatea, you don't get extra Orcust. So I like setting the Einset and activating it, so that even if I don't have any other Orcust anywhere, and I don't want to rely on the counter trap necessarily as the only way to get access to my engine, I'll set and activate the Einset, so that way I can keep my Orcust flowing into my graveyard, and the field spell will allow me to interact and proceed that way. So I really enjoy that, and that's what makes my Orcust deck more fun for me, and what allows it to stand out from the others, where you can clearly tell, like, this is 3 stacks Orcust. It's not just a standard net deck Orcust traditional, you know, what everybody plays. Now I'll do a test hand. No matter what hand I draw, I know that I always make Mermaid every hand. That's just, I don't know what it is, dude. Like, that's why I say, like, when people say, oh, you're exaggerating, everybody bricks, every deck does. Don't get me wrong, every deck bricks, but this deck's brick hands always still put out 2 monsters. Like, there are no brick hands where you just can't summon 2 monsters. Brick hands are kind of when, for me, this deck bricks when the only play I can make is summoning a mermaid. That's a brick hand. And so this is already nuts. And this, I shuffled my deck, dude. So this is nuts. This right here is just off the chain. This is a test hand. So we're going to allure. We're drawing into a Boots and a Mothman. I'm going to banish the Boots because I know that we have a second copy of Boots. And then we'll go for the Engage. And having the Armageddonite also allows you to play through more hand traps. You'll see. It's going to be, this is a good hand. So we'll search for the Hornet Drones. Then we'll activate the Hornet Drones, put out a Sky Striker token, and then convert it into Kagari. And then add Engage, and then, you know, activate Engage. I wish I had one more spell. Like, just one more spell so I can get that draw because I'm greedy. But I have Dangers in my hand. They're going to get me draws anyways. And then, once you normal summon this Armageddonite, they have to do something to it. Like, even a smart player knows. Like, you don't want the Armageddonite to resolve. So this by itself can force a hand trap. Like, this can force a Veiler minimum. If they have Veiler Ash, right, they would more than likely want to Veiler this and then Ash the Heart Pourer. But no matter what, you're going to make Galatea. I'm telling you right now, you will make Galatea no matter what. So we'll normal summon the Armageddon. And keep in mind, the Eagle Booster. That's why I don't need Call Buys. I have never been in an instance where I'm like, oh, I need Call Buy because, you know, I keep getting hand trapped. Like, no, dude, like, I play around hand traps like nobody's business. And I'm actually going to send the World Wand off of this. I'm going to dump the World Wand. I'm going to convert these two into Phoenix. Actually, Cerberus is a little bit more expendable, so we'll convert him. Go for Mermaid and then discard Heart Pourer for cost. And so now, a smart player who understands how Orcus work, well, even if they wanted to do something to Mermaid, you'd Eagle Booster them. But they would wait for you to try to resolve Heart Pourer, and then they'd use their Ash on that. But the thing is, they just can't stop all the advantage that you're going to generate. Like, it's too much. So you make Galatea, and then you'll basically, the Nightmare is not even needed, but you're going to activate Nightmare anyways. And what you're going to do is you're going to send out, you're going to send the Skeleton, then you're going to activate Heart and special another Nightmare so that you get additional follow-ups. So you'll see. Special out the Nightmare. And then we'll summon Dingirsu, attach Nightmare. Then we'll convert the Nightmare and the Dingirsu into another Galatea. Then we'll activate the Skeleton, and we'll bring back Galatea. Then we'll use Galatea's effect to put this Skeleton back, and we have double Nightmare engraved. And here, you can set the crescendo if you want, just to show you that you would obviously get, you know, the interaction with Fog Blade and, like, you know, the counter traps, like double Fog Blade and counter trap. So, like, I'll do this, but really, I just love the field spell so much. That's why I normally go for the field spell. But, like, you can get crescendo, I'm just letting you know, but me, the way I play Orcus, I just think the field spell is better than the counter trap. I know, say bad things about me if you want, but I just value the field spell more. I just think in general that you get more specific, well, non-specific, but more diverse interactions versus just the singular negation. You get to do multiple things because you can set up Orcustrion and Dingirsu, and that's 2 interruptions over just the 1 counter trap that could be forced out with the jamming waves or Pankratops, you know. I just really like it. I like it a lot. But we've set that up. And then I kind of need this Mothman to resolve. Not need, but I would like for it to resolve so that way you guys can see something really cool. So let's just pray for the best. I do have dice so that it's not a biased thing, so you guys don't think, oh, you picked the Tsuchinoko on purpose. Like, nah, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna pick because I'm rolling a dice. Alright, so we'll do 1, 2, evens odds, how about that? So evens, of course it was the Mothman. So we'll trigger Mothman's effect, we'll draw 1, and we'll discard. Dang, that sucks. Alright, Tsuchinoko, come out. I wish that I would have discarded the Tsuchinoko, because I was going to make Evil Swarm Nightmare. That's what I was going to do. But what we'll do here is... Wow, we can even go for... we could go for... Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, let me think this through. Yeah, we could, but I'm just going to do Rusty. And... Wow, Lord Jesus have mercy. Let's activate Wand and bring back the harp. And then let's use Rusty. What we'll do is we'll send Ancient Cloak. We'll set a Fog Blade. Banish Ancient Cloak. Search of Boots. Special Boots, because this is a Phantom Knight. Convert all 3 of these monsters into an Orcustrion, which is my personal favorite Orcust monster. And then your grave is loaded with the Harp Horror and Double Nightmare. So you have like so many follow-ups right now, it's crazy. Then we're going to banish this for the other Fog Blade. And so this is why I enjoy the Field Spell more, because you just get more plays out of it in general. And you still can set up for Crescendo just later, you know, as a follow-up play. But just having the Fog Blades and then the Orcustrion, and also the Harp Horror and the Nightmares, and Rusty can be triggered off of the Dingirsu being summoned. You just have 1 interruption, 2, 3, 4. You know, well, this isn't 1, but the Dingirsu is, so Nightmare counts as just 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions. It's just really, really strong, just considering the fact that you get to grind with this deck. You know, you don't have to set up this end-all, be-all, just you can't break my board kind of, you know, play. You just set yourself up to fend your opponent off for 1 turn, and then you can kill them because you're playing Orcust. So I really like this deck a lot. And that was a great test hand. But I'm going to end the video on this good note. You guys see how my deck works. I hope you guys have seen some of the duels with this deck. I do not cap when I talk about how good this deck is. And I would say I'm a fairly above average Orcust player. If I say I'm a good Orcust player, you know, people are going, hey, but like I know that I am a good Orcust player because not only have I been told, but my results have proven themselves. But I really do enjoy this deck, and if you guys want to play it, there's just too many different ways to play it for you to ever think that you should just net deck my build, make a carbon copy. Dude, you can do Orcust anything, and that's what's so amazing. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. You folks have a beautiful day, and be positive. Peace.